everybody. Live from the Collins-Perley Complex. We're coming your way tonight. Essex BFA. Leonard Parrott along with Tom McDonald, and shapes up hopefully to be a good one. These two teams like to play each other.
Well, it certainly does, Leonard. You know, the thing that a lot of people probably don't realize, I didn't realize until late this week, or early this week, was the fact that BFA has never beaten this rink. The inaugural game was 3-2 overtime. Remember it well. And a loose puck at the blue line went in, and then last year, John LeClair's year, one of their only 2 losses, 5-3, and opened that goal. So Red Jenner talked to me about that. That's the only thing that he has going motivationally. The kids are playing very well for him, very happy about the way they're playing. We said we've never beaten this rank, and we'd sure like to do that tonight.
BFA 14-0-0, Essex 9-3-1. Historically, the two teams down through the most recent years, anyway, have probably had the most success in the league, sharing state championships and the like. And as I said, it's always kind of special when they meet, and they're good competitors. And we'll see what happens. It may be a prelude to the playoffs. Of course, Spalding will have something to say about that in all likelihood. And the way the league's gone, you really don't know, because you can't really give it much form other than the BFA so far this season, because just when you think you've got it all figured out, well, somebody beats somebody that you didn't think should or would or could. And then you're right back to square one. Got a good crowd on hand, that's for sure. They're really coming out en masse for this. You've got a good Essex following, obviously the home crowd, BFA, and the Siskoy's off tonight, and you've got a lot of fans coming down the interstate from the north, too. I've seen quite a few of them in the building, and that will make for a good crowd indeed. We've got professional scouts in the building. I see them down there on the northwest end of the building. I'd like to get the fur coat.
Yeah, it caught my eye very quickly. You kind of know the thing stand out. The way they stand above the crowd and the clothes that they wear, very dapper dressed. I won't call them young men, but distinguished gentlemen.
So BFA and Essex coming your way live from the Collins-Perley Complex here on Country Life 102 WLFE. We'll be back with more after these messages. Mark Rushlow and Rick Vian.
Randy Vian.
Excuse me,
Randy Vian.
You know what I was thinking of was no face mask tonight.
That's right. Well, he went, there it is. It's over there on the boards. He's just getting loose, getting the hair kind of blown dry before he starts this game. He should be pretty busy tonight, the way both these teams will skate. I'm sure we're going to see quite a game and some fast-paced action.
Well, they're both very intense as a rule, and I would imagine BFA certainly will be out, I would think, rather hungry, because they've got 2 big games right in a row, Essex and Spalding. Spalding coming up Saturday afternoon. We'll have that one live on WWSR. Also, Essex, it's a big game for them because they were last beaten by North Country last Saturday, and I think maybe that was as a result of them maybe looking ahead a little bit.
Well, you know, I tried to get that out of Bill O'Neill tonight when I was talking to him before the game. I said, you know, first thing I asked him was, what did you think about your team? What do you think about it now? Because we asked him before the Milton game. He said, I don't know. And as you remember, they won that game. They won a couple after that. They beat Spalding in a very big game for them, 4-1 down there in Essex. And he mentioned the kids played very well, very intense game. Again, something we expect tonight. And then he said, North Country just stood around. And, you know, and I said, were you looking ahead? Do you think you were looking ahead maybe for this game tonight? And he says, I hope not. But it's possible we were very, very flat. And, you know, watching the kids come out of the locker room for the pregame warm-up, they were really flying. They were very, very intense. And I expect us to see a very, very physical, hard-hitting, good hockey game.
BFA and Essex. Schoolboy Division I hockey coming your way live tonight on Country Life 102 WLFE. Again, the referees out on the ice, Randy Vian and Mark Rushlow. And in a moment, I guess they want to get the visiting boxer out here in the ring first, I guess. I don't know what's going on.
Red Jenner always seems to do that. I guess he likes the way the crowd reacts when BFA comes on the ice. He wants to make sure the other team hears it because, you know, the majority of the time, Red Jenner will always be the last team on the ice. That's probably because of the fine support he has, and it just gives the other team something to think about. And you know that you're going to have, as you said, a very good crowd tonight, and it's going to be a very vocal one, I'm sure.
Well, this is much like a title bout. You know, I mean, hey, you've got the boxers. I don't want to come out first. Hey, they're playing a little cat and mouse here. Are there any hard and fast rules here?
Not that I know of. No, there's no rule that says which team has to come out first. I believe once one team gets out there, the other one better get out fairly quick or they can get a delay of game penalty. That's very rarely called, but it has happened. VN's trying now to get Red Gender. Come on, fellas, let's get going here.
Get this show on the road.
You aren't doing anything after the game, are you? We might be here just a little while.
I think I see Paul Bellows sticking his head out of the door. Are they out yet? Are they out?
Find Red.
We are coming. We are coming. Anyway,
there we go.
Well, here come the Bob Whites. I guess they're going to come out first. So BFA on the ice. I'm sure Essex will shortly follow. And we'll be back with more live from the Collins-Perley Complex after these messages.
A good selection of beverages, plenty of takeout luncheon specials, hot soups, baked goods, and lots more. Plus, you can register to win a 4-foot Valentine Heart of Toys. Check in-store specials and gas up your car, too, at PJ's Minute Stop, 190 South Main Street, St. Albans. And don't forget the drive-up Bottle Redemption Center in back for your convenience. Good news from Bennett Supply in St. Albans. Polyethylene septic tanks are available. The
teams are going to be introduced shortly at their respective blue lines, and there is a little magic in the air tonight.
Oh, yeah, you can feel it. Well, anytime you get a big crowd here, especially about 10 after 7, you got to believe something special is going to happen. And the BFA's been gearing for this. I think that part of Red Gender and scheduling, taking the kids over to New York, getting the hard competition just before this series of games. You know, CBU is supposed to be a big game. They came ahead of that 8-0. I think that surprised a lot of people. I know it surprised me when I heard the score Saturday night. And Essex, of course, they might have been looking ahead. North Country not having the up year that they've had in the past. They might have been looking just a little bit by them and got burnt by it. So that'll just make them that much hungrier tonight.
Essex being introduced. They're starting the defensive duo. Kyle Adams and Craig Steinhauer. First line, Tim Davidson at center, Derek Reedy on the left side, and John Littlefield, the right wing. In goal, Brian Sheldon. Essex again. They have a record of 9-3-1 coming in here this evening.
And as we said, the BFA has never beaten them in this rink, and starting in goal tonight for BFA would be John Johnson. So Red Gender continue to rotate his goaltenders. Defense, Jerry Dukas, number 25, one of the assistant captains, and the other one, captain, Jeremy Benoit. And that forward, we'll see the Coffey twins, Luke and John Coffey, and at center, Eric Rabb.
And we'll be back with first period play-by-play action after these messages. For first period action here at the Collins-Perley Complex. We've got nearly a jam-packed house with a lot of law on hand here, trying to keep the crowd in check here, away from the plexiglass. And a good following from Essex, and they look pretty boisterous.
Oh, they're very excited about tonight. You know, this is the game they've been looking for, obviously. We said it earlier, we'll say it again. They might have been looking by North Country to get here. So they're ready for a big one tonight, and they're looking for the upset.
John Johnson in goal for the Bob Whites. Brian Sheldon for Essex. Randy Villa drops the puck and we're underway. Essex in control. And Littlefield shoots it into the BFA end. Johnson leaves it behind the net there for Dukas. Gary Dukas. He flips it up to Luke Coffey and turn up to Rath at center, and he dumps it into the Essex zone. Rolls all the way around behind the net into the left wing corner. And the Hornets start out. Littlefield at his own line through center. His attempt to clear into the zone blocked by Benoit. Puck in the left wing circle now. Gary Dukas trying to clear the zone. Gets it up ahead to Rath at center ice. Pass down to John Coffey. Flips it into the Essex zone. And around behind the net now is Steinhauer. Steinhauer banks it off the boards. Too far for Littlefield, who wants to change up here. And the puck down in the BFA zone. Jerry Dukas, the center, and Essex quickly clears it back to the BFA line where Gary LaRose deposits it onto the stick of Villeneuve. Villeneuve shoots it around behind the Essex net into the left wing corner. Now Essex clears at the center. LaRose on it for the Bob Whites. Up to Villeneuve. Villeneuve to Wood at the line. Wood top of the circle. A shot just wide. Kept in now by the Bob Whites. Jerry Dukas skates it down the left wing board. Flips it around behind the net where Kyle Adams sends it to the left wing boards. Kept in at the right point by LaRose. Down low in the corner here. In the circle, Steinhauer with it for Essex, and he dumps it down into the BFA end. Back on it for Essex is Scott Davidson. Jerry Dukas with it now behind the BFA net. He can't clear the zone. Here's a bouncing shot that Johnson has to be quick on. Taken from the point there by Eric Erston. And now the puck cleared the length of the ice. This will be icing against the Bob Whites. 13:09 left in period number one. No score, Essex and BFA.
Starting out as we anticipated, very fast, high-intensity, high-pitched action there as both teams going end-to-end. Neither team really getting the chance to set up in the opponent's offensive zone. So, again, what we expected, they started to lay the body on.
Zone, puck clear at the center. And Essex quickly clears it back in over the BFA line offside, though. It was Rupp who fired into the zone.
That's a rule I'd like to see the headmasters change next year. That offside ruling where if everybody clears the zone and then goes back in, the play will continue and the ice offside is wiped off, as we see in New York quite often when we're over there.
That's center ice and into the BFA. So far, BFA a little bit more aggressive here, and puck back set. Now the puck clears down into the Essex zone. And they're leading on the right. Davidson at center. Slides it over to Peck. And BFA clears. Deep in the BFA zone. Picks it up ahead here. Center. Too far for Essex at its own point is turnover for the Bob White. But Coffey gets it back in the brother John, who's pressured there in the now, Luke Coffey up the right wing board, up to Price, dumps it into the Essex zone. Big hit for him there in the right. Luke Coffey, Jason Noakes. And Essex in the BFA zone, Jeremy Benoit. Being rocked there by Corbo. The board's up ahead here to Rath. Left. Back to the left point to Benoit. Sheldon, he leaves it for Adams. Rath comes away with it. Corner. Back up to the point. Luke Coffey has just... Off for tripping. 2 minutes for tripping. Penalty, but none. passes, intercepted by LaRose. Now to Charbonneau, dumps it the length of the ice. Here comes Essex out of their own zone. Steinhauer at the BFA line. It's passed behind Reedy. And Charbonneau dumps it to center. Back. Eric Hurston. He dumps it to Littlefield. In the circle, a shot right on. And the save by Johnson off the stick of Littlefield, who came right down through the circle. And let a backhander go. Here's Steinhauer over to Hurston. Hurston can't handle the pass. Puck ends up along the side boards. And Hurston with it, slides it over to Steinhauer, left point, a shot, wide. Comes all the way back to the right point to Hurston, he banks it off the boards. Finally, BFA clears the center. This is Littlefield on one point with Steinhauer now. Littlefield back to his forward position with Hurston back on that right point. Steinhauer on the left point. BFA clears it into the Essex power play.
They play very well. Walk around and aggressive. We normally see them.
Not as successful as we've seen anybody against BFA. In quite a while. This is Sean Ruff. That's accepted at the BFA line by Benoit. And was the puck to the BFA bench and the fired up down here.
Oh, you like it. You like the big game. To go with the power play.
Did he say the referee couldn't see her?
His dog is still at home or something?
I see. 10 seconds left here in the power play. And BFA in control. John Coffey to right. Circle and Sheldon with the save. And behind the play, we've got a foot.
Sheldon's going to go. Brian Sheldon being a little active with the stick there. John Coffey skating in hard after the puck. Sheldon took offense to it. And he tripped John after the play left the zone. That's a tough penalty to take right there.
Well, what it does, even though the penalty had expired to BFA, I think Essex has created a little momentum for itself, and they're going to take that momentum away from themselves here. And a very key juncture in the game already, because BFA, the most potent power play in the league by far, and it'll be a good moral victory here for Essex if they can keep the Bob Whites off the board.
Well, I'll tell you, though, as a coach, you just hate to see something like that. The play, here you are, you've got a good rush going down the ice, you've got a player trapped deep in the next thing you know, the whistle blows and your goaltender has tripped a player that's nowhere near causing any damage or anything like that. A little mental discipline in that situation.
So BFA on the power play. Puck now cleared down into the BFA zone. We've got Rath and Gary Dukas on the points. The two Coffees with Benoit in the middle up front. Essex has Rupp out there along with Adams. Here's Benoit over the blue line, top of the circle. Now circles back. Looks to the point, gives it to Rath, slides it over to the right point here to Gary Dukas, who just kept it in. He slides it down into the corner to Coffey. Now they get it back to the point to Dukas. He walks into the slot, a shot right on. Saved by Sheldon with a blocker, top of the circle. Rath lets it go, blocked by the defense. And the puck now down around behind the Essex goal. This is Benoit, right wing corner. Circles. Back to the point. Gary Dukas walks in, the shot just wide. Comes all the way back to the left point to Rath. He slides it down to Coffey. Back high in the slot to Dukas, a shot. Deflects just wide of the left post. Here's Luke Coffey, his centering pass intercepted by Essex's Jason Noakes, and he clears it the length of the ice. Boy, BFA moved it around quickly on the power play.
But Essex again gave them they stayed very passive in their own zone, and that's pretty tough to do.
And Benoit just lobs it into the Essex end, and Essex quickly clears it back to center. Woods blocks Reedy, who sends it back to the BFA line. Comes back out to center. So let's see. This is Charbonneau. He flips it high into the zone, hits the rafters. I don't imagine the Red Gentlemen will like that move too well.
No, I'll tell you, I think that the one thing you want to do when you're on the power play, you don't have the puck in their zone, is get the puck to Jeremy Benoit. He's that type of player that'll calm everything down, settle things down so that now we can get set up and get into our attack of the zone. They just never got into that mode.
7:12 to go, first period, 17 seconds to go in the BFA power play. And Jeremy Benoit fails to keep it in at the point. He slides it over rink wide to Jerry Dukas, who tripped just as he was about to take the pass, allowing Reedy to skate into the BFA zone. He's ridden off the play by Dukas, and here comes Wood for St. Albans. Lugs it over his own line through center over the Essex line. Top of the circle, looks to center. Instead goes behind the net. Wood now skating into the right wing corner, tries to center it, goes behind the net. The penalty has expired to Essex. They're back at full strength. Puck along the backboard. 2-3 players fall. Comes loose. And this is Littlefield away for Essex. He gets it as far as center. First poke checked off his stick by Dukas, and let's see here. We got a penalty, it looks like, coming up behind the play again.
Again, it's Essex. It is Kyle Adams. Going to go off this time for checking Billows.
And again, Billy O'Neill just shaking his head over there on the bench. You know, he's saying, hey, we can't afford to do this too many times.
Well, that's 2 good rushes they've had. Down here they are almost over the BFA blue line. The whistle blows. They've lost the advantage, and it's because of a penalty where they can't control themselves behind the plate. Wait a little while, get him back later if he did something wrong.
6.5 minutes to go in the period, so BFA, they reset the clock and have another 2-minute power play. They came close in the last one, but that's about all. I've seen 2 players slip down here. I don't know what it is. But
right in that area, yeah.
Meanwhile, BFA gets it back into the Essex zone. Rath behind the net, working hard there. He has it in the corner. Gets it back to the right point to LaRose. LaRose slides it along the boards to John Coffey, back to LaRose at the point. LaRose slides it over to the left point to Gary Dukas, down low in the circle to Luke Coffey. Coffey slides it into the slot to LaRose. He tried to pass it, and we've got a breakaway maybe for Steinhauer. Gary Dukas trying to break in. He's alone. He shoots. Oh, what a save! What a save by Johnson on Steinhauer, who was in alone, got by Dukas, and somehow gloved by Johnson. How, I really don't know. And there it was. I don't know if that's like a shortstop saying, hey, look what I got.
Yeah, I think it's similar to that. I'll give him that. But he stayed with him all the way. It wasn't even close. He came across and he had his glove in perfect position. Obviously, it had to be perfect because that's where the puck went. That's what we call perfect position right there. And on the play, Gary Dukas picks up a penalty for slashing as he tried to slash Steinhauer to stop him. So now both teams be 1 man down.
So Steinhauer there nearly lighting up the light. Here's Essex again in the circle. Steinhauer, a shot at the side of the net. Jerry Dukas with it now. At his own line, a pass up ahead to Forget. And let's see. Jerry Dukas keeps it in the BFA zone momentarily. That's shot to center. Dukas retreats. He has it. He backends it into the Essex zone. We're playing 5-a-side right now with 5:22 to go in the first period. Gee, this has been a lot of fun, folks. I mean, it's
good game.
It's been a while since we've had one where the intensity level is such as it is. There's an offside at the Essex line. So with a stoppage in play, a reminder, some of our sponsors this evening include Duke's Sports Shop, 22 Lake Street in St. Albans. Also, PJ's Minute Stop, 190 South Main Street in St. Albans. Also, Handy Dodge Toyota, downtown St. Albans. And the Cadillac Motel, 213 South Main Street, St. Albans. Also, Barnett Supply, Lake Road, St. Albans. And A.M. Derringer Insurance offices in St. Albans. Company, St. Albans. John Cobb, Chevy Oak. 5:09 to go. We're playing, and this is a... Hasn't taken off his stick. Reedy. Littlefield dumps at the center. For BFA at his own line. Off the side by Littlefield, gotten back though by Villeneuve. Villeneuve over the blue line, slides it to Benoit in the slot. Over to Villeneuve, tried to redirect it, and a big save this time. Into the rink by Sheldon. Sheldon slid across, made the save, and that was equally as impressive. Johnson. He must have known. He looked at Jerry shoot, because if he thought that Benoit was going to shoot it off the way he did, he made the right play. And face off to the right of Sheldon. John. Rath with it. Off by Stein. BFA zone. No icing.
Essex on a power play now.
And that'll be the case for the next 26 seconds. And John Coffey with it for the Bob Whites at neutral ice. He dumps it into the Essex zone. 4:09 to go in the period. 16 seconds to go in the Essex power play. Davidson, a pass up ahead to Peck, intercepted by LeClaire, who dumps it to the Essex line, and they in turn shoot it to the BFA zone. LeClaire there, dump it back to center. And this is Aaron sliding it over to Steinhauer. And comes right to Johnson, the BFA goal. He slides it to the sideboard. Now in the corner, Peck gets it back to the point. To Erston, a shot just high. Comes all the way around the sideboards. Where it's picked up by John Coffey. We're even up now. Coffey at the blue line. Lets it go. Blocked there by Kyle Adams. Erston now behind the net. Slides it up on the boards here to Rupp. Back to Erston behind his own net. Erston circles. Slides it up around the boards here to Peck. And let's see, Essex gets it to center, taken by Benoit. Benoit slides it over here to Murray. Murray over the Essex line, avoids a check by Erston. And the puck ends up along the backboard. 3:05 to go now in the period. Erston pass to Scott Davidson. Davidson now slides it over here to Rupp. Rupp down the left side, taken out of the play by Gary Dukas. And the puck ends up behind the BFA net. Now it slides to the right wing corner. A battle for it. As Bolduc bodies Murray, a pass up ahead to Forget, who lugs it to center. Now he flips it into the Essex zone. Puck ends up in the corner. Kyle Adams now at the side of his own net. Slides a pass up ahead here to Peck. Peck gets it to center. Picked off here now by Jeff Brown. Brown gets it to the BFA zone, but it's quickly cleared out by Wood and brought quickly back into the zone. Offside are the Hornets. 2:24 now to go in the first period. Still no score. Essex and BFA. It's been very entertaining. I'll tell you what, we saw Essex and Milton earlier. They were without the services of Rupp and Erston, and they're better off.
The way Essex gets out of their own zone, to bottle them up at all, and that's what the team is. They're fine for.
2:17 left here in the first period. This is Murray trying to hit Forget on the fly, too far. Puck does manage though to roll into the Essex end. Now it's cleared back to banks it off the board. There you go. Gets it back. He banks it off the board with Bolduc. Or LeClaire, rather, who flips it into the Essex zone. That's going to be ice. So now, Erston is fair. I'm not familiar with the young man, but he seems to be pretty good on his game.
Oh, he's an excellent hockey player. Looking defenseman.
What grade do you know?
Ooh, a guess. I think he's a sophomore or junior. How's that for a guess?
Sophomore?
Or a junior. Maybe a junior.
Sophomore. He's a sophomore.
All right.
Yeah. And let's see here. We're getting the word from our spotters. We have many. Here's Benoit, a shot from the sideboards. It's wide. Here's Luke Coffey on the sideboards now, right wing, losing it. And Essex clears it to center. And John Johnson out of his net here. Oh, he almost got burnt as he flipped it to the sideboard, but it was intercepted by...
BFA's doing a real good play the game. There's been some good before the game, and obviously the
and let's Wood quickly over the line. And hard wrist shot saved by Sheldon. Wood gets his own rebound, skates it around behind the net and centers it, but Sheldon quick to pin it against the side of the net. A stoppage in play now with 26 seconds remaining in the first period. No score, Essex and BFA.
I'll tell you, the Essex defenseman giving Wood just a little bit too much room, and we've seen him really shoot the puck this year. It's a tough situation.
Off the draw, puck comes to center. Jerry Dukas banks it off the boards, and the puck rolls into the Essex end. Backcourt is Erston. He's bodied. Puck shot around behind the net now along the left wing boards. Jerry Dukas attempting to keep it in. He does. Sends it back around behind the Essex net where a couple of 16s there battle for it. Steinhauer and Charbonneau. And there's the siren. That ends play. In the first period, no score. Essex and BFA through the first 15 minutes of hockey. And we'll be back after these messages.
It stopped at 1-9.
Complex after the first period. BFA nothing, Essex nothing, and a very evenly played first period, and about as even as I've seen BFA really played in a while, because they've been playing very well of late.
Well, I thought the key to the whole period was Essex's ability to get out of their own zone. Very, very impressed with that, and as we said during the period, that one of the things that we've seen BFA do all year long, especially that first line of the coffees and there, allow them to get out of their own zone for extended periods. Line, the Wood Charbonneau finishes up the hole. Every time the puck's gone in, due to the defenseman, in particular, Craig Steinhauer, Adams, and Stewart, the puck has been coming in, right back out again. Puck, and obviously Billy O'Neill's done a fine job of preparing his team for tonight's game.
Well, I think you hit it right on the head. Essex's strength is their defense, their defensemen. If there's any question, I don't know if they've got many snipers out there. We'll have to wait and see. But Adams, Steinhauer, and Erston in particular, good rushing defensemen. They skate well, and as you said, I think that's key to getting out of the zone. They're not shooting out of the zone; they're lugging it out. How about that?
They are, but they're also making the good, smart pass. If they get partway out of the zone and the angle's cut off, and that's something that BFA does well. That they also use a late forecheck in the sense that they have a high guy coming late on them. Essex has read that very well and moved the puck to the open man. And I'm really impressed with the way they get out of the zone. And that's the one thing that BFA doesn't do well is in transition. They don't score well off of transition. They score mostly off of the presses that they put on teams in their own zone. And right now, Essex hasn't allowed them to. And as long as they continue to do that, we're going to have a very close hockey game.
Nothing, our score. BFA and Essex after the first period. Essex coming in here with a record of 9-3-1. BFA 14-0. Essex has lost to North Country, Colchester, and CVU. And they're the only team, I might add, to have beaten Spalding this season.
That's correct.
BFA plays Spalding Saturday, and they have also tied Spalding. So when you talk about maybe the premier three teams in the league, I think it's BFA, Essex, and Spalding in no particular order there, but those are probably the teams. I would imagine you'll see two of those three in the finals.
Well, it's hard to say. Again, the one thing that we've pointed that out since day one, is the parity of this league is a little bit deceptive, and that any team can beat almost any team. And, we've seen Spalding. They've had some very tight games. They're in a tight one right now with Rutland. Last score we had 2-1. Spalding over Rutland down there. And another one here, North Country goes down and beats Essex Saturday. They're down playing South Burlington right now. They're down 4-2 to South Burlington. South Burlington only won 3 games this year, so anything can happen. You're probably right talent-wise or on paper they should be in the finals. But it's going to be hard to say. That should be a very interesting playoff situation this year.
Nothing, our score. BFA and Essex after the first period. We'll be back with more after these messages.
Protecting your assets is just as important. For gallon capacity tanks available. Norwesco storage tanks of lightweight polyethylene can be used for storing water in places where it's not readily available. Or they can be used for collecting.
Complex, Leonard Perrin along with Tom McDonald There's some scouts in the building tonight. Look like they're from the Montreal Canadiens. These are the ones we saw. See Mike Gilligan, the UVM coach, is in the building. And hey, it's a good demonstration tonight of hockey at the Vermont schoolboy level. A couple of teams that usually like to play one another. Hockey game coming your way on the radio. At 1 o'clock, WSR, the squad will be playing game, and they'll be going up against the. I'm going off the top of my head.
I don't know. I believe that.
No. Well, no, that. Oh, that's.
Oh, so the Rice isn't going to play out.
You're on top of that. Yeah, well, I got it. Score. There we go. CVU, 1 o'clock. Up in Highgate. On the FM dial, right in. From Rouse's Point, New York. St. John's Central. And at the same time. And then the round of 30 on the FM dial. It'll be. So there you have it. Saturday. How we're going to get it? Prize. We'll get it done. Working on that still, but we will have on Saturday. Tom, I'd love to go up against St. John.
Their best goaltender,
who's supposed to be Division I collegiate material. His name is Genero, comes out of Quebec, and MAI defeated Potsdam 3-2 this year. And Potsdam is a team that BFA beat 5-3.
5-3.
And Potsdam is the number 2 or 3 ranked team in all of New York. At least that was the case a couple of weeks ago.
Well, and as Red Gendron said, those people just flew out there. And, he said, he wasn't sure he got the best effort out of Potsdam. It's hard for them to realize how good a team from Vermont is. Again, it's a foreign country to them. Over in that area, they consider themselves to be the hockey area in northern New York, and I think they caught a little bit surprised. Messina, not that tough this year. They're not down, and again, they're having all sorts of problems with employment over there. A lot of people having to leave the area, and that's hurt their hockey program quite a bit from what we recognize as being.
BFA in Essex, no score after the first period, and we don't get much television time in the room. puck loose. Attempts to clear the zone. They can't. Right to the side of the net, and then we'll have a face-off due to his left. Period number.
First period, where both really being able to sustain any pressure.
BFA netminder. Wood facing off against. Puck now long. Loses it. This is through center. That was heavily by Pet. Left point for the ball. On the board, and those behind the net. Here is Charbonneau. But the shot. David. Check off his stick by Donu. Now it clears it back to center. Hurston. And this around behind the net. Shot down there along the left wing. Chance for and they're written off the play. Jerry Dukas with it now for the bobwhite. Tries to center it. Murray couldn't handle it. And Murray got the win. Coming up here.
It's going to be. He wouldn't let go of Andrew. And we'll have our first second period. Peck going off 2 minutes. 1:59. Second period. Some sustained action from it. Jeff Peck off. Mark.
Left of Sheldon. In the circle with it. Low on the board. wasn't on because he looked like he was a catcher trying to catch a knuckleball. To the BFA line. Here's John. Re-gripped his stick and couldn't handle the pass. Davidson at the line is Dukas on it. Dukas now slides it. Leonard, who intends a blind back pass to the ice. 35 left. For Essex on the Bob White. The sponsors tonight making the broadcast possible. Lake Road in St. Albans. St. Albans in Georgia. A.M. Derringer and Enosburg Falls. Line, Lake Road, St. Albans. Also the Cadillac Motel, 230 St. Albans. Also Handy Dog Toyota, downtown St. Albans. PJ's Minute Stop, 190 South Main, St. Albans, as well as Duke's Sports Shop, 22 Lake Street, St. Albans. And an icing now, again here, and it's against Essex. So now bring it all the way down to Sheldon's right with 9:24 left in the period, as the pace is slowed a little.
The BFA is starting to assert a little more pressure, and one thing that I was curious about is that Bill O'Neill uses 4 defensemen to kill the penalty. He's only has 4 defensemen. They're going to be pretty tired people by the end of the night without giving him the extra shifts. And that might wear him as the game goes on, but it might be just a play right now. The game is tight, and he's trying to make things happen for himself.
Off the draw here, Villeneuve let a shot go from the slot. It was blocked by the defense. Comes out in front. Oh, just knocked out of harm's way by Essex as Wood was poised there, ready to put it home. It came out from the backboards quickly. Here's a situation where Charbonneau falls in the slot. Looked like he was hooked, but in essence he was holding on, and that caused him to go down. Here's a shot by Dukas. They score! Tipped in by Wood. Dukas from the point. Let a shot go that was redirected, and the Bob White on the board. 8:58 left in the second period.
I'll tell you something. It'll never be seen, but Gary LaRose made the play. He had a beautiful pass. The puck came out. I believe it was Wood who fed the puck back to him, trying to get it through the slot. LaRose saw Dukas, Jerry Dukas, all by himself, slid the puck over in such a manner that it was timed right so that he could shoot it on the fly. He did. Wood made the tip, and there was really no way that Sheldon could make the play.
And here come the Bob Whites again. So Andrew Wood with the deflection of the Jerry Dukas shot, excuse me. And 1-0 Bob White. Puck quickly down in the BFA zone. Essex attempted to center. See if they can keep it in. No. Bolduc pass to Murray. It's behind him. This is the Littlefield skating it in over the BFA line offside against the Hornets. 8:27 left, middle period. 1-0 on the goal by Wood here in the second period.
And again, a nice play by LaRose and Dukas, who was able to shoot the puck on the go, coming at him diagonally. That's a tough shot to make, but he got it low. He got it on very close to being on net. Sheldon had to commit to that, and Wood tipped it in the far side, 1-0 to score.
Just before the play there, Charbonneau fell in the slot, and a lot of people thought he was hooked, but you can see quite clearly that he was holding on to the stick that caused him to
hooked him, yeah.
And oftentimes the refs won't see that. You'll get the call, but obviously the refs saw that one.
And he was also struggling to get his feet underneath him as he was having a little trouble with the puck.
Puck here at center ice. LeClaire flips it to the line. Hurston quickly dumps it into the BFA end. And let's see here. The Bob White start out. This is Rath. He falls. He's on his knees. He manages to get it up to Luke Coffey, but still checked off his stick. Retrieved, if you will, by Rath, who gets it to John Coffey. His pass into the slot taken there by Scott Davidson, who just slides it over on the right side and goes down into the BFA zone. This is Bernor and John Coffey. Now back to Bernor on the give and go. Bernard lets a long shot go from center ice, gloved by Davidson. He drops it off here for Jamie Stewart, who in turn gives it up ahead to Peck. Peck now over the BFA line, being watched by Wood. Puck still in the corner. This is Davidson letting it go. Blocked in the slot by Duke. Oh, a shot and a save by Johnson off the stick of Scott Davidson from the circle, the center of the circle, and Johnson had to be quick.
Oh, nice blocker save there by John Johnson, and BFA a little sloppy in their own zone as they gave the puck back to Davidson. All he had to do was shoot it. He did. He had a nice shot. You could see the opening he was going for. But Johnson able to anticipate and make the save. 7:09 here to go here in the second period. 1-0 to score in favor of BFA as they make another line change, bringing out their third line again. Red Jenner trying to match up lines a little bit here and see if he can go strength on strength as the period wears on.
Face off deep in the BFA zone to the right of Johnson. Sean Prevey out there now for Essex. Puck right loose in the doorstep area, and the save made by Johnson again as he just had to cover up. As Essex here putting on a little pressure, asserting themselves.
And that pressure has caused a penalty to BFA, and Joe Leclerc going to go off as he was hooking one of the Essex players off the face-off and not allowing him to get to the net in 7 minutes and 4 seconds.
So,
here,
we'll see if the Hornets can get the equalizer. 7:04 to go middle period, and they'll go on the power play. Excuse me. Leclerc off for the Bob Whites.
He's got 2 minutes for hooking.
Face off to the right of Johnson. Off the draw. Here's a shot right on by Littlefield, and the save by Johnson as Littlefield was right in. Littlefield trying to stuff it in on the wraparound play from behind the net. Now forced back behind the net. Finally taken away by Benoit. Benoit can't clear though. Kept in by Essex. Littlefield back passes, a shot by Reedy. High over the net. Littlefield in the right wing corner. Flips it around behind the net. Benoit on it. Tries to clear the zone. He cannot. Kept in at the point by Steinhauer. He wraps it around the boards. Where Adams slides it to Reedy behind the net. Reedy skates it to the corner, centers it. Benoit trying to clear. He cannot. Comes to the left wing board. Adams banks it off the boards here to Erston. He loses it to Charbonneau. In turn, put it on the stick of Reedy. Essex's Adams slides it over the BFA line. Benoit, though, deep in his own zone. Fires it around the boards. Kept in here. No. It came off the boards rather oddly, and nobody could capture it at the point. So Essex back in center ice, attempting to regroup. Puck does slide into the BFA zone. And BFA quickly clears the zone, and Essex has to regroup. 5:44 to go middle period. 39 seconds to go in the Essex power play. And let's see, here's a hit on Steinhauer, and he lost his stick. BFA in control. A shot right on. And the net off its mooring. Close call there. Well, BFA was shorthanded as they gathered up a loose puck in the Essex zone after Essex had some trouble with it, and an Essex player lost his stick. And I'm not sure which BFA player took the shot, but
that was Gary Dukas that took the shot. He skated right into the slot with it there. Made a nice play. Sheldon with a nice save, and I'm not sure. I believe that was Peck who made a real nice play. His team in trouble. He went flying into the net and was able to knock the puck off its moorings. A pretty smart play there, and BFA argued a little bit about it. Gary Dukas in particular, saying, hey, that's not legal, but it's an awful tough call to make to figure intent also.
Face off to the right of Essex netminder Sheldon. 28 seconds to go in the Essex power play. Here comes the Rath at the point. A shot right on. Sheldon kicks it out right to Erston. Erston now on his horse behind his own net. Puts the brakes on. Good-looking soft boy.
Oh, isn't he something? Jeez, he's beautiful.
How did he get away anyway?
Oh.
Anyway,
I'm not sure.
Face off here. Or check that, puck along the sideboard. Now the puck at center ice. This is Gary Dukas.
Both teams are even up now.
Dukas over to Luke Coffey. And the puck now shot into the BFA zone. 4:55 to go in the middle period. This is Rath on it. Rath Along the sideboards, kept in here by Erston. His shot blocked by Gary Dukas. And he flips it into the zone. This should be icing against the Bob Whites, and it is, with 4:39 left in the middle period. 1-0 Bob Whites. 4 sponsors tonight making the game possible. PJ's Minute Stop, 190 South Main Street in St. Albans. Duke Sports Shop, 22 Lake Street, St. Albans. Handy Dodge Toyota, downtown St. Albans. Also the Cadillac Motel, 213 South Main Street, St. Albans. We'll run down the remainder of them for you in a bit. Here's BFA 2-on-2, Forget and Murray. Forget over the blue line left wing, drops it for Murray. He wasn't ready. And Essex coming back the other way. This is Tim Davidson over the blue line in the circle. Let's a backhander go. And Johnson made the save. A good thing he did because Tiger Corbo was poised for the rebound. Meanwhile, the Bob Whites clear it back down into the Essex zone. And they get it back to center. LaRose with it, dumps it to the Essex line. And Essex again gets it to the BFA line. Checking close at this point, offside the call. At the BFA line, 4:03 to go now. In the period, 1-0 BFA.
Game has slowed down just a little bit. The game a little tighter checking. You thought that goal might have opened things up a little more, made Essex a little more offensively conscious, but they maintained their composure very well in that sense. And
Steinhauer shoots it to the BFA line, intercepted there and fired back into the Essex zone. Steinhauer back for it. Steinhauer behind the Essex net. And finally, this is Littlefield down the right side, avoids the check by Bernor. Here's a centering pass by Essex, nobody there, comes back to Erston, a shot. Oh! Saved by Johnson. Erston took it top of the left face-off circle. I don't know how he saw it through the screen.
A nice save there, just barely able to get his glove on, and Erston, a real smart shot there. He saw the opening and went for it.
Puck down here in the corner, and finally BFA clears it into the Essex end. Back for it is Steinhauer. Steinhauer, a tough cookie, pound for pound, probably as tough as anybody in the league. We've seen him take some hits and come back.
Yeah, I guess we have.
Last time he was here, for instance, against Milton.
Yeah, he took a hit.
Here's Kyle Adams letting a shot go just inside the blue line. Deflected wide. Oh, they score! Essex! 1-1 to score. Shot taken from the circle. And to be quite frank with you, I'm not quite sure
I believe
how it got on Reedy's stick, but all of a sudden he had it in the circle, let it go, and beat Johnson.
What it did was it bounced off the boards. It came directly out. It hit just that right angle where it came right out to just about the middle of the faceoff circle. Johnson not quite ready for it. Reedy there all by himself, just slid the puck low between his legs. We got a 1-1 hockey game.
So, just like that, 2:56 remaining in the second period. 1-1 our score. As you can see, it caught me by surprise, simply because it didn't look like there was anything there to call.
Oh, exactly. And all of a sudden I look, and I got the big light right in front of me, so I wasn't sure. I looked around, and Reedy the only one near the puck, and he let the quick shot go, and that's the key. He didn't wait. He didn't see what Johnson was going to do. He just shot it. And we got a 1-1 hockey game.
And the way these two teams have played, that seems rather fair, to tell you the truth. Puck here at center ice. Shot into the Essex zone, now back to center. Gary Dukas on it for the Bob White. Feeds it over here to Benoit left side. Benoit now dumps it into the Essex end. This will be icing against the Bob White. 2:33 remaining in the second period. We're all tied up here, 1-1.
And again, Essex, that composure that they've shown. And I'll see Bill O'Neill right now trying to shuffle his defensemen. And they've got to be starting to get a little tired here. They've had to go pretty hard. They've done very, very effective in getting the puck out of their own zone. But in order to do that, you're going to have to skate, as Leonard said, between periods very, very well, and they've had to. And you can see them starting to get a little fatigued right now. And that might be one of the telling stories before this game is all over. Can the 4 defensemen hold up against the pressure that BFA puts on them?
Essex here, Erston failing to keep it in at the point. Here's Phillips sliding over to Charbonneau, a shot. Oh, big shot wide. Oh, did he get a piece of that or not? Charbonneau from about 15 feet, let it go. Here's Villeneuve backhanded the rebound. Saved by Sheldon, another shot. Just wide. All kinds of pressure by the Bob Whites. BFA trying to keep it in. Now they don't. This is Peck getting it to center ice, taken though by LaRose. And Rupp with it in his own end. Over to Erston. Pass up ahead to Peck. He slides it here. Over to Davidson. He's in alone. He shoots. He scores! So just like that, Essex on top. 2-1.
Boy, what a nice play by Peck. As he got the puck, he saw the defenseman coming across. He said, I can't hold on to it, I'm going to lose it. He flipped the puck just right. He got it over the stick of the BFA defenseman, laid it right on Davidson's stick, and all he had to do was walk in, got John Johnson going one way, put it up high to the other side. 2-1 the score now in favor of Essex.
1:54 left in the second period. 2-1 Hornets here as they have stung the bobwhite quickly with a pair.
Just a beautiful, beautiful play by Peck. This is put a nice touch pass on, and Davidson, all he had to do was skate with it.
Scott Davidson here putting the Hornets ahead. Puck down in the BFA end again here right off the face-off. Essex here looking the hungrier of the two clubs at the moment. And we've got a whistle here behind the play. And we've got a penalty coming up, I think.
We got two penalties coming up here. Both of them are going to go off. Derek Reedy going to go off for Essex. And Jeremy Benoit going to go off for BFA. Each of them 2 minutes for roughing will be the call.
This comes with 1:34 to go in the second period. Holding is going to be the call here.
Holding or? For both of them. Both of them for holding, yes. Our spotter doing an excellent job again tonight. Well, the crowd giving their opinion of the call.
So skating 5 on 5 here. Here's Luke Coffey for BFA, and this one a shot right on. Sheldon the save. Here's Coffey picked off a loose puck in the slot and let it go. Puck now back at center ice. John Coffey with it. Slides it over to brother Luke Coffey. Third banks it off the boards into the Essex zone. Steinhauer banks it off the boards up to Adams. Adams collides with John Coffey at the Essex line. And the puck shot now into the Essex zone. Back for it. Steinhauer. Long lead pass to Adams. Oh! He'd have been alone, I think, had he been able to capture the pass. At the BFA line. Meanwhile, puck slides into the right wing corner. 3 skaters there try to hold it. Comes free. And let's see. Kept in by Essex as Jamie Stewart feeds it around behind the net. Odd-looking play there. You have to see it to believe it. And anyway, Jerry Dukas finally gets it to the Essex line where Stewart corrals it and feeds it back into the BFA zone. Here's Adams. Feeding a pass, a little field back to Adams. Oh, just failing to collect in the slot area there on that pass. Here's a shot from the point.
Another penalty coming up.
Johnson the save, and
I think it's Johnson. Going to go off for tripping.
So the BFA goalie here being assessed, or is it Dukas?
I believe it's the goaltender. He's talking now, saying one of the people on the ice has to go. So John Johnson gets a penalty. I didn't see that at all, so I can't comment one way or another. But John Johnson's going to get a penalty. That occurring with 11 seconds to go. Here in the second period, 2-1 the score in favor of Essex.
Andy Wood is going to go to the bench and serve the minor, assess the net minor for BFA. So this will give Essex a power play for the next 11 seconds, unless we have something here that occurs otherwise to change that situation. And that'll signal the end of the period here. 6 seconds left now. Puck in the BFA zone. Gary Dukas, 2-1. There's the siren. So, after 2 periods of play, our score, Essex 2, BFA 1. And when play resumes in the third period, Essex will enjoy a man advantage situation for 1:49. Again, unless something happens to change that in the way of scoring or additional penalty. Again, 2-1 our score after 2 periods. Essex on top of BFA. We'll be back after these messages.
1-3, that's a final. Also, another final, South Burlington 5 over the North Country 4. Now back down to the Collins-Perley Sports Complex.
Was that South Burlington 5, North Country 4?
You got it. South Burlington making a charge for the playoffs right there. That's their 4th win. 3rd in a row, though, I might add. 3rd in a row. They beat Milton on Saturday. They beat Rutland on last Wednesday night in overtime. Both those games in overtime. And tonight, I don't know if it was overtime or not, but 5-4 South Burlington over North Country.
Well, North Country obviously apparently still savoring their good fortune of Saturday last when they upset Essex. So that's why I said you never know in this league.
Oh, certainly don't.
Night to night. So what happened in that period, Tom?
Well, I'll tell you, we had 3 goals that period. None in the first period. It was Andrew Wood for BFA, tipping in a shot from Jerry Dukas on a pass from Gary LaRose at 6:08, making the score 1-0. Then Essex came back, and they came back hard. Derek Reedy on a rebound off the boards, right out into the slot area. He let a quick shot go, beating John Johnson. That assist coming from Kyle Adams at 12:04, and then a minute later, Davidson on a breakaway. On a beautiful pass from Jeff Peck, made the score as it is now 2-1. There were 5 penalties in the period, 3 to Essex and 2 to BFA, and shots in the period 9-8 in favor of BFA. Totals for 2 periods, 17-14 in favor of BFA. So a good period of hockey again, good hard-paced action, and Essex coming out, taking advantage of the 2 good scoring chances they had, and they've got the lead right now.
When we come back, we're going to be talking with Fred Reedy. He's one of our color analysts from time to time. He'll be joining me Saturday night down at Letty. And when we come back, we'll be talking with Fred, so stay tuned. Collins-Perley Complex, Leonard Parent. And joining me now, one of our part-time color analysts, Fred Reedy, who also is a longtime Essex youth hockey official. And you got to be kind of pleased now. Your Hornets looking kind of tough so far.
Yes, I think they played well, and I think after the way the game on last Saturday turned out, I think it's a pleasant surprise.
What happened last Saturday anyway?
I don't think Essex played all that poorly. I think with a couple of things, I thought North Country played extremely well. Needleman had an excellent game. And the goaltending reminded you to some degree of Scott Marsh last year in the semifinals of the state championships. This Fortin boy was outstanding when he had to be. He made 2 or 3 key saves when Essex looked like they were going to climb back in the game. And quite frankly, North Country beat him.
We've been commenting up here on a number of occasions about the use of primarily 4 defensemen for Essex. Does that get them into any difficulties as far as weariness goes as the games grow older?
Well, he's been only using that up until the game tonight in key penalty-killing situations. He has also been using a 5th defenseman, either Rupp or Jason Noakes, from time to time. Sean Rupp. Tonight with Sean playing up on the wing, it does weaken them a little bit because of the fact that they only have the 4. Steinauer and Adams particularly have great stamina, and they can play a long time. And I wouldn't say that there has been any noticeable difference as far as their ability in the 3rd period as a result of being maybe double shifted once in a while.
We're between the 2nd and 3rd periods here at the Collins-Perley Complex. Essex on top of BFA by a 2-1 score, and we're talking with Fred Reedy. The week after the state championship game, I guess it'll be the 2nd weekend in March. You've got your Rotary game coming up, and you might tell us more about that.
Yeah, we have this will be our 5th annual. It will be Saturday night, March 12th. A lot of the players that are on the ice here tonight will hopefully be in the game. At least they certainly deserve to be in the game, whether or not they can make it. It is for seniors, graduating seniors. It's kind of a fun event. They have a nice banquet. They receive a trophy and some recognition, special recognition. We've played before a full house now for 4 consecutive years. I think the game has been a really good testimony to the skill level. They don't practice that much. They only can practice a week preceding the game. And for the most part, it has been a very enjoyable night. And I think it's a fine tribute to a lot of the kids who perhaps for the last time will play hockey in a competitive vein. It also enables some of the Division II players, the better Division II players, to play with the Division I players. And I think it's been a fine event, and we're very proud to continue with the tradition.
And do you buy tickets in advance or at the door?
Well, you can buy them in advance. There will be some publicity later on in the month on it, but we also will be selling them at the door, and they'll be the same price, $4 for adults and $2 for students.
We look forward to working with you Saturday night when we bring you the Milton Rice hockey game from Letty. It's a 6:30 start, and again, I know you're going to be, earlier in the day over in Lake Placid, are you?
Right. The Essex plays in traditionally they play in the Lake Placid Winter Carnival, and they play Friday and Saturday this week. They play Oswego, New York on Friday, and then the winner or loser, depending on how they do, of the Saranac Lake Placid game. And that game will be played either at 11 o'clock on Saturday morning in the Constellation or at 1 o'clock. But either way, I'll be back, and I'm looking forward to working with you this year, Leonard.
Okay, Fred, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're between the second and third periods here at the Collins-Perley Complex. Our score, Essex 2 and BFA 1, and we'll be back with more after these messages. Complex, 2-1. Essex on top of BFA after 2 periods, and when play resumes here in the third period momentarily, Essex will be on a power play for a minute 49. There are 26 seconds to go in matching penalties out there. And when we start play here in the third period, it'll be a 4-on-3 situation as far as skaters go. And then after 26 seconds elapse, we'll have a player back on for each club. That'll make it a 5-on-4 situation for the remainder, which, if my math is correct, should be about a minute 23 left in that particular situation. But again, Essex a man up for a minute 49, unless we get additional penalties or some scoring there to change that situation. BFA unbeaten, 14-0-0, but they've never beaten Essex in this building. They're 0-2 against the Hornets, and right now they're still behind the 8 ball.
They certainly are, and you got to wonder, is there a jinx about this building in Essex and how well they can play? And BFA again just starting to take the ice, and the crowd bringing their support behind them as they're down 2-1. The goal scorers in that period: Andrew Wood for BFA, Derek Reedy and Davidson. The goal scorers for Essex.
BFA on the ice. Here comes Essex. And we've got a nice crowd on hand for this one, folks.
And they're getting their money's worth tonight, no doubt about it. It's everything it was built to be.
We've got a good Essex following. Of course, BFA has a good following. And add to that the fact that Missisquoi is not playing, and you've got a lot of Missisquoi fans here in the building, so makes for a very good scenario. 4 games coming your way Saturday on the Radio St. Albans Sports Network at 1 o'clock. CVU and Missisquoi will play at Highgate. We'll have that on WWSR AM 1420. At 3:30 on AM 1420, BFA and Spalding live from Spalding. We'll pick up a feed from our sister station in Barrie, WSNO. At 3:30 also over in New York from the Rouse's Point Arena, St. John's will go up against Northeastern Clinton. Tom McDonald will be joined by John O'Connor for that one. And then at 6:30, yours truly and Fred Reedy will be in Burlington at the Letty Rink to bring you the Milton Rice game. And Milton's fortunes is plummeted of late.
And, you know, they haven't been playing bad. That's a tough situation. Almost all their games are in overtime. And they just haven't been able to come up with that winner.
Well, we're underway here in the third period. A reminder that Essex is on the power play. And let's see, in their own zone. This is Erston. Up ahead here to center ice, Littlefield with it. Littlefield to Steinhauer over to Erston. Erston over the BFA line, drops it for Adams. Slides it over here to Littlefield, back to Steinhauer just inside the line. Puts it right on the stick of Bolduc. And Bolduc clears it the length of the ice.
Now both teams are 5-4 as Benoit comes out. And
so again, Essex still on the power play. That'll be the case for the next minute and 11. Puck here at center ice. Now shot into the Essex zone, and Steinhauer lugs it out quickly over the BFA line. Loses it. Taken into the boards heavily in the corner by Dukas. Picked off by Littlefield. Puck rolls right to the side of the net, and Johnson holds on to the puck and puts the stick into the midsection of Littlefield, and
looks like Luke Coffey put his shoulder into the midsection of Littlefield also as he went down, and Steinhauer took quite a hit from Gary Dukas there in the corner too. So BFA starting to play a little more physical right now. They're going to have to assert themselves a little more here if they're going to come back. They've been playing well, but they haven't been quite as physical and as intense as they're going to have to be.
Face off to the left of Johnson. Off the draw, controlled by Jerry Dukas. He sends it around the boards. It comes to the point to Steinhauer. He has difficulty with it. And here's a shot by Rupp from the slot right on. Save made by Johnson. Back at the point. Steinhauer sent flying there. A big, heavy check by Luke Coffey. And now BFA clears it the length of the ice. 33 seconds to go in the Essex power play. They lead it 2-1. Here's Rupp. His pass intercepted by Villeneuve. Essex still manages to get it to center. Here's Benoit. Over the Essex line. Still in control. Takes it to the corner. And Benoit still in control. Now loses it. Rupp behind his own net. Loses it to Benoit. Benoit in front of Villeneuve. A shot right on. Sheldon the save. Essex very sloppy there.
They couldn't control Benoit, and they really didn't take him out of the play.
Now the penalty has expired to the Bob Whites, and it's offside at the Essex line. So 13 minutes and 10 seconds remain in the third period. 2-1 our score. Essex still on top of the Bob White.
Boy, very similar to last year's game where BFA had several good chances, LeClaire in particular. This year the same thing happened. And last year, remember, Brian Sheldon really came into our eyes as being a solid goaltender, and he's continuing to play very, very well tonight.
BFA sending out the Bolduc line to counter Essex's third line here of Tim Davidson, Noakes, and Tiger Corbo. Puck here in the Essex end. Let's see, can BFA keep it in? They do momentarily. Finally, this is Tiger Corbo for Essex. Over the line, a shot blocked by Bernard. And here comes Forget for the Bob White. Forget down the left side, dumps it into the Essex zone. Kyle Adams back for it. And Adams gets it to center. And the puck shot down into the Essex zone here from center ice. Corbo over to Davidson, back to Corbo. Corbo over the blue line, tried to get around Bernard. He could not. Puck rolls to the corner, and Corbo taken into the boards heavily by Bernard. Corbo not very big, but he's spunky. Puck's still in the BFA zone, though, and let's see, hand pass and a stoppage in play with 12 minutes and 15 seconds left in the third period. Still 2-1. Essex, I'll tell you what, Steinhauer is their key defenseman, no question about it. But I'll tell you what, number 8 out there, Kyle Adams, is a force. Well, he doesn't make many mistakes.
He played very well. We saw him last year. Jamie Stewart, another one, number 7. I think all four of them, you said it earlier, the strength of their team, and they were out in a penalty-killing situation earlier, obviously showing just how good they are. And they're very, very tough. They handle the puck well, and they play well defensively.
They're as good as anybody on defense in the league.
Oh, yeah. I want to say a trio, but we don't want to say that.
Essex now back in its own end. And let's see. This is Villeneuve trying to center it. He does, but nobody there for the Bob Whites. Steinhauer, right wing corner, sends it around behind his own net now. Still in the Essex zone. A couple of BFA players trying to free the puck up. Finally, Wood comes out of the sideboards with it and loses it in the circle. Excuse me. And let's see. This is Derek Reedy out of his own zone, up ahead here to center ice to Littlefield. Poke checked off his stick. And Adams loses the puck, and finally Charbonneau brings it into the Essex zone. Back behind his own net here is Stewart to Reedy, back to Stewart. Stewart lugs now at his own line, pass to Peck, who just directs it into the BFA zone. Johnson out of his net, he covers up, and we'll have a face-off deep in the BFA zone. 11:06 to go, third period. 2-1 our score. Essex on top.
Essex playing very, very tough. They're really not giving BFA any chances whatsoever. They're tough in their own zone. They're tight checking when they get in there. But again, the thing is they're getting the puck out of their zone. When it's in there, they get control. When they do, the puck comes out.
Off the draw, backhander right on by Rupp, a weak one. And Johnson, little trouble with that. And he holds on. And we're doing another face-off to his left with 11:02 now left in the third period. Eric Rath taking the draw against Davidson, won by the Bob Whites. Jeremy Benoit behind his net. Starts out now, up the right side, pass up ahead here to Luke Coffey, 3-on-2. Coffey, Rath, and the other Coffey. To Rath, and he's bumped heavily there by Steinhauer as he put the body on Rath, and that caused him to lose the puck. BFA keeping it in, though. They send it around behind the net. Steinhauer in the corner. He's bumped now by John Coffey. They battle for it. Benoit keeps it in left point. His weak shot is wide left. And let's see. Peck trying to clear. Gets it to center. Benoit on it. Over here to Dukas. Dukas now flips it back into the Essex zone. John Coffey avoiding a check, but he's taken out of the play. Two Bob Whites fall. And here come the Hornets. This is Erston putting the brakes on at the BFA line, waiting for some mates to get onside. Now he shoots it back into his own zone where Steinhauer has it. Sends it over to Erston. Erston's pass intercepted by Rath. Puts it on the stick of Dukas. Dukas in the circle. In the corner now. Puck checked off his stick by Rupp. Steinhauer behind his own net with it now. He's tied up by a couple of Bob Whites, and they get the whistle with 9:52 left in the third period. Essex still on top 2-1, and really BFA not having many chances at all.
Well, the Essex just isn't giving them to them. They're getting the puck, as I said, out of their zone when they get control of it, and BFA really isn't giving any space at all in that zone to make something happen. The middle of the ice is just cluttered with Essex players, and that's what you want as a defensive coach or teaching your kids. Cover the slot area first and work your way out from there, and Essex doing just an excellent job so far at that.
And the teams here making some changes. Essex attempted to get a change, but referee Randy Diaz says no way, as BFA is going to get the last change in their own building.
And that's the correct call. Home team gets it.
Wood facing off here for the Bob Whites. They win the draw deep in the Essex zone. Here's Dukas' shot from the point. Oh, it deflects just wide. As I think Charbonneau got a piece of it. And it deflected just wide of the net. BFA here trying to keep it in. They cannot. And we've got a whistle.
Is somebody down over here?
I see a stick. Is there a player down there too?
Yeah, I believe there is. And look around. It's an Essex player.
And to be quite frank with you folks, we can't see from our vantage point. There's a little bit of a blind spot, but the player right down in the corner. 9:37 left in the third period, 2-1 Essex, and they have a player down. And really,
I didn't see it. I didn't see what happened. It was away from the play, obviously.
Let's see. It's Kyle Adams down there now. I see him. He's on his knees.
Well, isn't that Kyle standing up right there?
Oh, it's number 18. Excuse
18.
me. Yeah, there was an 8 there, but Jay Lamphere. Yes.
He seems to be all right. Just a little shook off from that.
So, none the worse for the wear, Mr. Lamphere, it appears. And the face-off here at center ice with 9:37 left in the period. Wood facing off against Littlefield, and the draw comes back to the BFA zone. Gary Dukas on it, hit the referee. Benoit there to pick up the errant puck. Circles in his own zone, trying to avoid Littlefield. He does. Slides it over to Dukas. Dukas a long lead pass at center, intercepted by Reedy. BFA, though, manages to keep it into the Essex zone. And let's see, this is Benoit at center ice. Up to Wood. And taken off his stick by Steinhauer. Pass up ahead here to Reedy. Reedy slides it over to Kyle Adams. Top of the circle, back to Reedy. Nice play by Benoit. But here's Steinhauer, a shot just wide. Adams the rebound. Centers it, they bang away at it. And blocked by the defense. Essex all kinds of pressure.
Boy, what a save there by Johnson off of Reedy on a rebound there, and you could hear the puck hit the pads as Reedy was all alone in front.
And here comes Essex again. They try to center it. But Benoit with it this time. A long lead pass up ahead to Villeneuve. Penalty coming up to Essex's Adams, I believe, behind the play as he dumped Wood.
I don't know why he called the play when he did. BFA had possession of the puck, but Kyle Adams going to go off, and the face-off will be just outside the BFA zone.
Unless they thought Wood was injured, because he was down.
That's true, but
Wood is leaning up against the boards there. He looks to be somewhat in pain.
Pain or tired. They had a rather long shift there, and when you're in your defensive zone, you got to work a little harder. to make things happen, and they were in there for quite a while. Essex put on a lot of pressure, and John Johnson having to come up with several big saves there.
So we've got Reedy killing this off for Essex, along with Littlefield, Steinhauer, and Erston. We got Rath and the two Coffees out there with Gary Dukas and Gary LaRose on the points right now for the Bob Whites. So BFA on the power play, trying to get the equalizer. Here's Gary Dukas, left point, down low on the boards for Coffee. The circle, he fans on it, gets it back, hit his own man who was down there as Rath fell and blocked the shot, and the puck was underneath him, and they're going to say, because of that, the face-off is due outside the Essex zone, and it was the correct call.
It is the correct call. There's no doubt about that. Again, Essex allowing BFA to set up in the zone. So BFA unable to take advantage of it there.
Gary LaRose off, Jeremy Benoit on, and Benoit's going to play the centerman's position with Rath going from center to the left point, where he joins Dukas. Here's Benoit at the blue line, down the left side, drops it for Coffey. Coffey tries to center it in the slot. He does to Dukas, but Dukas has to go wide. Down low in the corner to Coffey. Over the circle to Benoit, a backhander right on. They score!
John Coffey.
So Coffey putting it home there as Benoit sent it toward the goal. I don't know if he meant it to be a shot or a pass, but it was Coffey who put it home. And we're tied 2-2, a power play goal for the Bob Whites.
And it's been something all night long. They've been able to set up. That time they did again. They got a nice play by Luke Coffey getting the puck cross ice. They beat the box right then by getting that puck cross ice to Benoit. Benoit, being the smart player he is, skated in with it, let the goaltender and the defenseman commit themselves, and it looked like either shot or slid it to John Coffey, and all John had to do was redirect it. He did. We've got a 2-2 hockey game.
And what makes that work is the rapidity with which BFA passes the puck on the power play. We're underway again here. 7:38 to go, third period, 2-2 our score. Puck down in the Essex end, behind the net. This is Murray, right wing corner. Back to the point to LaRose. And let's see, offside they're saying as the puck apparently came over the line.
Good call there by Mark Rushlow as the puck just barely made it over the line. Gary LaRose put in a tough position there as Murray skating at him with the puck and then passed it to him, and the defenseman just pounced on him and puts Gary in a tough position.
7:26 left in the third period, 2-2 our score. Face off just outside of the Essex zone. Bolduc facing off against Scott Davidson. This is Jerry Dukas with it. That center, he dumps it into the Essex zone. Puck around behind the net. Shot up along the sideboards now. BFA keeps it in. This is Steinhauer behind his own net for the Hornets. Banks it off the boards. Intercepted there momentarily by Murray. He loses it to Davidson. Davidson attempts to slide it over here. Can't. This is Jerry Dukas for the Bob Whites. He dumps it into the Essex zone. It goes around behind the net where Steinhauer gets on it. Takes it to the corner. Bumped by Bolduc. And let's see who comes away with it. Essex. This is Rupp. His pass hit a BFA player, but went on the stick of Adams, who slid it over. Here into the BFA zone. Picked off, though, by the Bob Whites. This is Charbonneau over the blue line. Tried to feed Dukas, and Dukas streaking down the left side just a little too far. There was the pass. Dukas behind the net to the corner, sends it back to the point to Benoit, who banks it off the boards, and Sheldon directs it to the corner. This is Villeneuve. Along the sideboards, back to the point to Benoit, a shot. Right on, they score!
I think Woods, they're going to give Woods a tip in there.
Right, Benoit let it go from the point, and Woods, they're saying, tipped it in. And it's 3-2 BFA. The goal coming with 6:15 left in the third period to the Bob Whites. Have taken the lead.
You know, we said something, and I might be wrong, but it looks like the Essex defensemen are getting a little tired. I'm just watching them. I've been concentrating on trying to see if that was going to occur, because it's very hard. BFA started to concentrate, dumping the puck in, dumping the puck in, dumping the puck in, and Essex having a little more trouble now getting it out of their own zone.
And Essex now trailing by a goal. Here's Tiger Corbo. His shot blocked from the wing boards. And BFA clears it down into the Essex zone. Sheldon out of his net. He leaves it for Erston. Erston, a pass up ahead here to Corbo, kept in by Jerry Dukas. And let's see. Long lead pass up ahead. Rolls into the BFA zone. LaRose skates around behind his own net. Banks it off the board to John Coffey. John now deep behind his own net, taken out of the play by Corbo. Puck there, still along the backboards. They battle for it. John Coffey out of the pack with it. Pass up ahead to Luke Coffey. Luke at center, dumps it in. Took a funny bounce off the backboards. And coming away with it is Corbo. His pass off the boards, too far for Jason Noakes. And it banks, or finds its way right to the goal mouth off the sideboards. And the Bob Whites will try to regroup. It goes to center. This is Adam. They dump it into the BFA zone. Behind his net is Benoit. Benoit up to Forget. He's bodied by Reedy. And Muldoon gets it to center. And Reedy quickly gets it back into the BFA zone. 4:42 to go in the third period. 3-2 BFA. As they've scored two rather quick goals here to assume the lead. Puck down in the Essex zone. And they start out. This is Adams. A shot right on from about 35 feet out just inside the blue line, and gloved by Johnson, and he holds on. 4:25 now left in the third period. Some of the sponsors making it possible. Duke Sport Shop, 22 Lake Street, St. Albans. PJ's Minute Stop, 190 South Main Street, St. Albans. Also, Handy Dodge Toyota, downtown St. Albans. And by the Cadillac Motel, 213 South Main Street, St. Albans. And by Bonnet Supply, Lake Road, St. Albans. And Derringer Insurance offices, St. Albans, Milton, and Enosburg Falls. And by the People's Trust Company, St. Albans in Georgia, member FDIC. Also, .com, Chevy Lake Road, St. Albans. The draw deep in the BFA zone, won by the Bob White. Jerry Dukas here getting it up to Charbonneau. Feeds it back down along the backboards to teammate Jerry Dukas. And they get it up ahead here to center ice. This is Wood with it. Back to LaRose. Down in the corner to Charbonneau. Charbonneau gets it high in the slot to Dukas. Dukas elects to send it down into the circle, intercepted by Essex. 2-on-1 break. Davidson was rough. He slides it over to Ruck from a sharp angle of shot. Partially deflected there by Dukas and still managed to find its way to the goal. Johnson made the save. And let's see. This is Wood, a long lead pass to Villeneuve, too far. And let's see. The call is icing against the Bob Whites with 3:38 left in the third period. 3-2. BFA.
Tough play there, and BFA is playing very well now in their defensive zone, but it's almost like they're going back into a defensive shell as such that they're not as intense offensively, which you want, but you don't want to just completely say we're going to concentrate on our defense. You got to be very, very careful of a situation like this.
Face on to the left of the goaltender Johnson, the BFA zone, and here come the Bob Whites. This is John Coffey at center ice, and quickly dumps it into the Essex zone. Luke Coffey, right wing corner, sends it around behind the net. On it here is Littlefield for Essex up ahead. I checked that was Reedy to Littlefield. And Adams with it now at center ice. He collides with Luke Coffey, who lost his stick. And Adams just slips it into the BFA zone. 3:14 to go as the clock becomes a factor. Jeremy Benoit behind his own net to John Coffey. A pass up ahead, too far for Rath. Excuse me. And the puck at center ice. This is Reedy at the line. Tried to hit Littlefield with a pass, intercepted by Jerry Dukas. Jerry Dukas over the Essex line, winds, his shot right on, stick save Sheldon. Eric Rath behind the net now for BFA, attempts the center. And Steinhauer there to clear it to the sideboards. Picked off though by Villeneuve. He centers it in front, Adams with it, can't clear, kept in by Jerry Dukas. And the puck there shot around behind the Essex net. 2:36 to go in the third period. 3-2 BFA. This is Reedy here, and let's see, we've got a holding call against BFA's Villeneuve. So, Essex gets what they want, a power play opportunity with 2:29 to go in the third period, and BFA leading 3-2.
And that's Leonard going to go off for holding there as he got a hold of Craig Steinhauer trying to come out of his zone and just wouldn't let him go. So referee Randy Viens had no alternate decision but to make that call. 2:29 to go, 3-2 the score, and O'Neill trying to get his charges straightened out as to what defenseman he wants, and Coach Red Gendron calls a timeout.
Villeneuve there ought to be in drama. He gets a little demonstrative after he feels like he's been jobbed, and it cost him one game, I recall. He got a game disqualification, and he had to sit out a game.
That's right, but that time he was more demonstrative towards Kyle Adams, who came over after the play was over, and probably had something to say to him, something to the effects of not a real bright call or a bright penalty there, or maybe just bumped him a little bit, and Villeneuve a little frustrated by that situation.
So we'll set the stage. 2 minutes and 29 seconds remaining in the third period. BFA leads Essex 3-2, and BFA's Villeneuve is off for holding. So the Hornets will enjoy a 2-minute power play here if something else happens to cause it to be taken away or whatever. And let's see. They'll be sending out their guns, I'm sure. BFA's penalty killing unit consists of Benoit, Wood, Gary Dukas, and Sean Charbonneau. Reedy out there for Essex, along with Littlefield.
Kyle Adams
also on the forward line. And let's see, Steinhauer and Erston on the point. Face off at center ice. Referee Mark Rushlow set to drop the puck. And let's see, BFA controls. They dump it into the Essex end. This is Erston up ahead to Steinhauer. Long lead pass left side to Adams. Littlefield over the left side. He loses control, and Benoit can't clear the zone, though. Steinhauer keeps it in right point, banks it off the boards, but Benoit this time controls the puck and clears it down into the Essex zone. Erston gets it up ahead here on the sideboards, but Benoit quick to intercept. Checking very close. Minute 54 to go now in the third period. So far, Essex has done very little. BFA's idea here is to be very aggressive and not passive, killing it off.
Especially in the neutral zone where they don't want to allow him to get into the zone.
Essex now. This is Reedy, a long lead pass, just failing to connect with Littlefield. This is Adams in the corner, deep in the BFA zone. Puck behind the net, Jerry Dukas on it for the Bob Whites. He's got a little bit of room, but he loses it, I think. Now gets it back, though. Here's Jerry Dukas in center ice over the Essex line. In the circle, going in, centers it. Shot right on, big save, Sheldon. And the puck cleared the length of the ice. Let's see. This may be. It is icing against Essex with 1:16 to go in the third period. They trail 3-2, and they have a power play for the next 47 seconds.
Boy, I'll tell you, that was real close right there for BFA. As Essex looked a little tired. They were out on a long shift, that being Adams, Littlefield, and Reedy, and they just couldn't get themselves back. And BFA fresh, they just got to change. And now we've got another timeout. As now Bill O'Neill for Essex brings his charges. It's a good call there. He's going to give that first group a nice minute rest. He waited as long as he could to call it. And they'll get to sit down for a minute and go right back on.
Out-of-town scores tonight. Spalding over
Rutland
by a 6-3 score, and South Burlington upsetting North Country 5-4. The sponsors tonight, let's run them down. Duke Sports Shop, 22 Lake Street, St. Albans. Also, PJ's Minute Stop, 190 South Main Street, St. Albans. Handy Dodge Toyota, downtown St. Albans. The Cadillac Motel, 213 South Main Street, St. Albans. And Bonnet Supply, Lake Road, St. Albans. Also, A.M. Derringer Insurance, offices in St. Albans, Milton, and Enosburg Falls. Also, the People's Trust Company, St. Albans and Georgia, member, FDIC. And by Don Cobb, Chevy Olds, Lake Road, St. Albans. 1:16 left in the third period. BFA swinging to a 3-2 lead. And they're killing off a penalty. Essex on the power play with 47 seconds left on it. And I'm sure one thing Bill O'Neill discussed here during his timeout for Essex was when and if to pull the goalie here to give his team a two-man advantage. And I would think on the first foray, outside of their zone where they're in control, I think they pull it.
I agree with you, and you can see he's being very demonstrative when he wants it to come and what he's looking for out there.
Off the draw, Essex controls. This is Erston leading the rush. Gets it up ahead here to center ice and rolls down into the BFA zone. Johnson has to hold on and make the save. And now Essex is going to get what they want. And that's a face-off to the left of Johnson. And I guess Johnson did have to at least make the save because it looked like it was on. Whether he had to hold it or not, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I don't know if Red Johnson wanted him to hold that puck, but I guess he could see that the Kyle Adams was right behind Jeremy Benoit there. And he said, rather than take a chance and put Jeremy in a tough position, I'll hold it. We'll take a face-off and hope that our centers can win the draw.
1:06 to go in the period, 37 seconds on the power play. The goaltender is out, so Essex, a two-man advantage here. Face-off deep in the BFA zone, off the draw, comes to the side of the net, and Johnson sends it around the boards, behind the net. Oh, let's see, puck along the left wing boards. This is Reedy, can't keep it in. Comes back here to Stewart. Stewart dumps it into the BFA zone. Benoit lets it go toward the open net. It deflects to the sideboards. 16 seconds to go, and the penalty still a two-man advantage, though, for Essex as a result of the netminder being pulled. 38 seconds to go in the period. Littlefield drops it for Reedy. A shot right on. Saved by Johnson. Comes back to the point to Stewart. He lets it go. Oh, deflected just wide. And a BFA player out of the box now. Villeneuve, and he manages to clear it to center ice. This is Erston with 18 seconds to go. We've got some pushing and shoving here in front of the BFA bench as tempers flare. We get a whistle. We've got matching penalties for sure. And we have another pushing and shoving match going a little bit further down the BFA bench as the tension here mounts.
You think both teams thought this was an important game?
I guess.
Holy geez, they're still intense. They're still intense.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch here, 18 seconds remain in the third period with BFA clinging to that 3-2 lead.
It'll be interesting to see what we get for calls here. Randy Viens trying to demonstrate the calls, and he's got a lot of numbers out there. You're near a white bench, so you don't know exactly what's going on. Don't know who's involved with what.
Well, I would imagine, based on what I saw, whatever the referees render, I think it'll be neutral. I think you'll find each team getting assessed the same amount of penalties. Looks like a pretty even shoving match. So BFA trailing 2-1 here in the third period. Scored a couple pretty close together to take a 3-2 lead, and they're hanging on. And they're only 18 seconds away from remaining unbeaten and also beating Essex for the first time ever in this building, and this being their third try.
Well, we've got two penalties for Essex up so far, one for BFA.
As they try to sort it out. The jam-packed Collins-Perley Complex, at least I'd say it's good 85-90% filled. Good following by both schools, plus the fact the Siskiyou not playing tonight. They've got a lot of their fans here to witness what has been a very, very entertaining hockey game.
It's been an excellent hockey game. Two teams very well prepared for this game. I thought Essex did just an excellent job throughout the night. Game's still not over. We've got 18 seconds to go. The Essex fans kind of letting the officials know what they think about the call. O'Neill not very happy with the call either. He's arguing right now with referee Randy Viens about why do we have two and they only have one. It seemed, as you said, I thought that we'd come out with each team an even number of men down, but obviously not the case right now, and referee Randy Viens still trying to...
You hear the Essex fans there hollering, go for it, go for it. Let's see here, 18 seconds left in the third period, and they've got two Essex players off, and only one BFA player off so far.
I see Reedy and Adams off for Essex, and Benoit is off again for BFA. So, boy, you take Reedy and Adams off. Plus, we've got another Essex player going in, that being Sean Preve. So there must be misconduct in there somewhere also to one of the Essex players. And we also got Wood going in for BFA. And they've got another BFA penalty here, so both teams are 2 men down, as we expected at the start of this. And,
we're going to talk to that.
Yeah. But it wouldn't have taken us nearly this long.
So the teams are even up now. Both goalies are between the pipes. 18 seconds to go in the third period. 3-2 BFA face-off at center ice. Off the draw, puck into BFA zone. 14 seconds left. Gary Dukas in his own end, not being pressured, holds on to it. Feeds it to Gary Dukas, Jerry, back to Gary. Up to Luke Coffey, 5 seconds to go, and BFA is going to win this thing.
We got a
whistle. Another penalty.
4 seconds.
High stick going to be called here.
Steinhauer going off for this one, so.
So, Irish counting down there, watching the clock, and
I didn't see it. It must have happened deep in the corner or behind the net when Dukas had control of the puck.
Teams will still skate 3-on-3 because you can't be put down more than 3 skaters at any one time, so it really won't affect a man advantage situation. 4 seconds remain in the hockey game, I would think, in all likelihood, unless we get a miracle here. 2-1. There it is. BFA the winner as they hold on here to beat Essex 3-2, and I think Mark Rushlow is calling a penalty there at the end, too.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think both teams got a little chippy right at the end.
I know, but I guess he's not going to worry about it too much now, but he had his finger pointed. And that's the hockey game. BFA holding on to beat Essex 3-2, a very entertaining affair. Who knows? May very well be a prelude to the finals in March at the Gutterson. Looks like if they do link up, it would be a good one. 3-2 again. BFA stays unbeaten as they defeat the Essex Hornets. A very fine effort by both clubs, and certainly Essex has nothing to be ashamed of. I'm with you. I think they may just tired a little bit.
Oh, I thought they got tired. I thought the defensemen lost some of their ability, and BFA started to dump the puck in, but I'll be honest with you, both teams very, very tired right now. You can see towards the end of that third period, both teams are slowing down quite a bit, and they weren't quite as crisp as they were early in the game.
We'll be back to wrap it up after these messages. Perley Complex. Essex losing by a goal, 3-2 to BF. We'll wrap it up there.
Okay, Leonard. The first period, there was no score. Wood, his first of 2 goals from Gary LaRose at 6:08. Came back quickly with Derek Reedy. Strange play bouncing off the boards at 12:04, made the score 1-1, and then right after later, Davidson from Jeff Peck. 13:06 made the score 2-1, and that's the way the second period ended. In the third period, though, it was all BFA as John Coffey on a power play goal from Jeremy Benoit, and Luke Coffey at 7:06 made it 2-2, and then a minute and a half later, Andrew Wood his second from Jeremy Benoit, and Villeneuve made the score as it is now 3-2. Shots in the period 9-7 in favor of BFA, 26-21. For the totals for the game, and a lot of penalties in that third period. We won't bother to run through all of them as it got a little ugly towards the end, but a very, very, very good hockey game, and I don't think either team has to be too upset with the way they played tonight.
No, I'll tell you what, it's only the second time I've seen Essex this season, and we saw them defeat Milton, if I recall, and they had to come from behind to do that after it looked as if Milton had them.
In fact, it was the penalty shot.
That's right.
Sheldon, who played outstanding save in that situation. And again, tonight Brian Sheldon played, I thought, on the other end, so John Johnson. I thought he was very sharp. As I said, both teams should be very... It was an excellent hockey game, and everything was...
Just to finish the point I was trying to make, you know, the Essex team I saw tonight must be Milton, even though they won. Spencer's rough. As for as Essex does, they're 4, you know, 1 through 4 for that. A lot of good defensemen, but And the rest, sure, they're as Essex's defense, but if you have, and then come up with the average, add up BFA and average it out, I think maybe. Nonetheless, they're very solid on the blue line.
Early in the game, especially. And I can't say that's a turning point or anything. Early in the game, they were untouched. And then bang, it came right back out. And that's part of BFA's. Check when they can put pressure on a team. Never happened. It never occurred until late in the game.
Really do approach the subject, and I think Essex did catch up with them in the third period. They were able to move the puck quicker in their own scene than when they tired two quick ones, and really it was just things happened in their own end as far as.
I agree. You know, a normal team or defenseman, I think, quite often. But you get a team and BFA prides themselves in their skating ability. You very, very heavily, and you know the mistakes in the third period, but they just weren't the crispness. They weren't allowed to get the puck out like they had in the first. That's the difference right there.
And I think looking at these two teams on paper, I think the of the two in goal. Line, the two teams, I think, very, very true. I think BFA, although they don't have a lot of snipers, it took them a while to get their act together this year offensively. I think they've got a few more goal scorers than Essex does on the forward lines, and so I guess in the final analysis on paper, I'd give BFA not a big edge, but a little edge, and hey, they won by a goal, so that's what happened.
I was going to say, I give them a lot of goal edge.
Okay, very good. That just about wraps things up here from the Collins-Perley Complex. Again, a quadruple header coming your way on Saturday at 1 o'clock on WWSR. CVU at the Cisco at 1 o'clock for a while. And at 3, Barry from WSN, also on WWSR. WLFE right here. It will be Northeastern Clinton in route to St. John's. And then at 6:30, yours truly and Fred Reading. Milton Rice game from 4 games coming your way Saturday on the radio, St. Albans Sports Network. For my engineer, Mark Rivers, and for Tom McDonald, I'm Leonard Parent, bidding you good night here from the Collins-Perley Complex. Again, our final score, BFA 3, Essex 2. Good night, everybody.